Oh, hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Rebel Roundup. I am your regular host, Sheila Gunn Reid. You might think that it's Wednesday by that fun little musical intro, but it's not. It's Tuesday, but we are holding our Western Wednesdays Buffalo panel today. Why? Because we've got a warrior from the West in the Toronto studio today. She's committing yet another insurrection in Toronto in the studio, taking it over. It's Tamara Lich. Tamara, how's it going?
It's going awesome. I've had a fantastic trip. Always love coming out to Toronto, and I'm having a great time, and it's been really busy.
Uh, do you love going out to Toronto?
I
You
do.
like the people?
I do. I love coming to the office at
Yeah,
least.
me too.
And
Yeah.
the restaurants aren't too bad either.
Oh, yeah. Ezra probably gave you a list of places he would like to go and then chose,
Yes.
which is what he does. He's very excited about the restaurants of Toronto, as our third panelist, Lise Merle, experienced last time we were in Toronto for staff training. Ezra had a whole list of places that he wanted us to go to just eat, and he kept coming back and talking about them.
We
And
had
then
one afternoon, and Ezra gave us at least 8 recommendations for that one afternoon of places that we had to go. So,
it was actually
um,
impossible to get out of their work done because you would start working on stuff and Ezra would come in and talk to you about a restaurant and then follow up with an email. It's the weirdest thing. Anyways, I should tell everybody what we're doing here today instead of making fun of all of like our collective boss, Ezra Levant. This is Western Wednesdays. You're watching Rebel Roundup. I'm your host, Sheila Gunn Reid. This is the Buffalo panel. We'll talk about issues facing Western Canada in a way I don't think you'll see in other places. And we want to invite you to join the show. So if you are watching us on Rumble, you can get involved in the show by leaving a Rumble rant. That's their paid chat over there. If it's over the $5 US cutoff, it is obligatory that we read it on air. If it's under that, time permitting and your cleverness may require us to read it on air. If you're watching us over on YouTube, same rules apply, but their paid chat is called a super chat. If you are unable to watch the live version of the show, but you are moved by the spirit to support the little network that could, you can leave a paid comment. And the reason we talk about the paid chats is because we'll never take a penny from the government to do the work that we do around here. We rely solely on the support of you at home. And it is the only way to keep us honest. It, and even if for some strange reason we could keep ourselves honest while taking government money, the perception of contamination would be there. And that would make you trust us less. And we don't want that. So if you like us and you feel compelled to support us, that's how you can do it on this show right now. Now, let's talk about 4 years ago today. I can't believe it's been
Yes.
4 years. Tamara, tell us what happened on this day 4 years ago, almost
Isn't
half a
that
decade.
I can't.
Crazy.
It feels like 100 years, honestly,
Mhm.
in some cases, and in other
But also
cases.
yesterday.
Yeah, and also yesterday. Yeah, right. Well, it was 3 or 4 years ago exactly today that my friend Cindy sent me this gentleman's phone number from Saskatchewan, and who was looking at starting. A little protest. And so I gave Chris Barber a call and I said, look, you're going to need money. You're going to need social media. You're going to need help organizing. I said, my skill set is logistics, administration, and organization. How can I help you? And that phone call, among many other things, sparked a lifelong friendship. And, we'll
oh,
definitely have each other's backs for the rest of our lives. I'm just so blessed. And of course, then like nobody could have seen what was gonna happen out of that. I think at the beginning we thought we would just be a group of trucks driving across the country, and look what it happened.
Yeah, I mean it sparked an international movement. You ended up in jail.
Hmm.
Now you're under
Twice.
house arrest. Twice you were in jail.
Yeah.
You had a homicide detective come and snatch you back from Alberta.
Yes.
Um, y- I think the Commonwealth's longest mischief trial,
Yes.
and now parlayed into a career in advocacy and journalism
I know. It's
at Rebel
crazy.
News.
What a journey.
Crazy.
What a journey. Yeah. And a dream come true for me, like I've said so many times. I mean, I was such a huge fan of all of you guys for so long, and to have this opportunity is fantastic. And I think we all enjoy poking the bear a little bit, and this is going to give us an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. While working hard to keep you out of jail.
That's right.
We're working very hard to comply
very
with all of
hard.
your conditions. Yeah. And just the movement you guys started, besides giving people hope, and I think that's such an important thing, and making sure that people didn't feel alone, you did make tangible changes. Like, you know, when people say, what did the Freedom Convoy really accomplish? Well, I don't know. By the time you guys hit Lloydminster, Scott Moe was like, no, no, we're not doing any restrictions here anymore. Don't convoy me, bro. And the reason we have Pierre Poilievre as the Conservative leader is because of the Freedom Convoy. The reason we have Danielle Smith as the premier here is in no small part to the backlash against Jason Kenney for his vaccine mandates, which you guys fought against. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at how different the Conservative movement is now in Canada versus what it looked like, very milquetoast, boring vanilla butter noodles back then versus what it is now, I think it's this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was no official opposition back then. If you remember,
you guys
Aaron O'Toole was the leader. There was no pushback. There was no questions even. And I feel like the Freedom Convoy became the official opposition, as did Canadians, you know, as we progressed across the country. And you're right, the changes, they'll all say that they didn't make any of those changes because of our actions, but I think we all know that that's not true.
Yeah. And Lise, I know you were one of those people. You and I are separated by distance, but you were one of those people who did feel like alone and crazy.
Oh, I mean, that time was just, it felt like I was underwater. You know, when you plunge yourself into the ocean and you just, all you hear is sort of ambient noise that doesn't, you can't make sense of anything. That's what that entire time felt like just trying to listen underwater. Nothing made sense. And then this happened. I just remember this happening and thinking, don't stop, whatever you do, don't stop. Make sure you get there and tell them that we need to end this madness. Yeah. It's a terrible time.
Now you're a journalist, and you were out on the streets of, I guess we're calling it Sankofa Square. Yonge and Dundas. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
What is Sankofa anyway? Yonge and Dundas Square. We've got a quick little video clip of that. Let's show it.
And it really comes down to respect, really.
Some people, they come to this country, they want to just fuck it up the country. They want to bring their mentality to their own country to try to come here. So if you choose to come to this country, it's a nice country. They will help you. It's a lot of opportunity, but you have to respect the country law.
Right, correct.
If you don't respect the country law, you have to get the consequence of this country. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna have criminal record. You're gonna do something bad, you know. So it's not good.
Yes, exactly.
So I believe to Canada is very great country. Is help for people to get job. Anything you want, you can get to this country. But respect the Canadian law.
Right.
If you don't respect the Canadian law, take an airplane, go back to your country.
Thank you so much for your time.
That man was a delight.
I bet he doesn't work for Immigration Canada. I bet he doesn't, because if he
or the
did,
government.
Yeah, because if he did, he wouldn't be allowed to say that, would he?
Yeah. We had a smashing success, I think, for my first day yesterday. I had a lot of really great conversations. We took the truck down. We were talking about free speech with Canadians, but this gentleman came up and started talking about the immigration, as you just heard. We had some Iranian Canadians come out and speak to us about, well, each and every one of them requested basically that Rebel give Iran a voice. They specifically said, please give Iran a voice. And some great conversations. I had the best time ever, and I was surprised it didn't seem that busy down in that square. But yeah, I went home super happy. I think it was a success. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, it looked like a success. As you said last night, you can be a polarizing person, especially in the eastern parts of this country where they're infected by a mind virus called CBC. But I think when you actually talk to normal people, normal immigrants too, people who did the things to come here the right way, they love this country and they see it as a place of opportunity and they see it as being deeply mismanaged.
Yes, they definitely do. And they're not wrong.
Yeah.
I have a lot of immigrant friends that did take the time. They spent the money. They did the proper process. And then as we've seen, Roxham Road is a prime example. How many people just walked right across the border in Quebec?
Yep. I'm lost in my phone because my computer is freezing up. Just give me 2 seconds to see what's next on the list, guys. All right. Sorry.
No problem.
No, we're good. Let's talk about this because you've got a unique perspective on this next topic. Tamara Lich.
I do.
The Blood Tribe, and I think this is the second Indigenous group that has decided to launch legal action against the province for allowing all of us, including them, by the way, to cast a ballot to decide if we want to stay within the confines of confederations. Now, this is Chief Roy Fox has decided that they're going to challenge the launch of a pro-independence petition. And what they really want to do is challenge the provincial legislation that appears to ease the way for the movement. So it rejects any initiative aimed at Alberta's separation from Canada and holds grave concerns about the Citizen Initiative Act as amended December 2025. Tamara, you are Métis, legally Métis, by the way.
Yes.
So have you been consulted?
No, as I was saying just before the show, I find it really interesting that all these chiefs and representatives are coming out and saying that they're going to put forth all this action. And I am a member of the Métis Association of Alberta. I've never even seen an email on it. I've never seen a notification of even a town hall to have a discussion about it. And as I was saying earlier, I did see a letter from a gentleman from Alberta that basically came out and said the same thing. You don't speak for us. And unfortunately, on a lot of our reserves in the reserve system, there's a lot of corruption. And so a lot of these chiefs don't want that to change, first and foremost. Number two, I find it incredibly ironic that the people that are really opposed to Alberta separation, that are calling us a threat to democracy, actually want to stop a democratic vote. So if there's nothing to be scared of, just let us have our say and we'll vote, especially if they all think it's such a long shot.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it bears to be mentioned that every single member of the Blood Tribe is a citizen of Alberta first.
Yes.
And it is unconscionable that the Blood Tribe would in any way try and prohibit its membership from taking part in this vote. And preempting that by starting a legal challenge that could slow this down. I mean, it is unconscionable, to use their language, for them to do this at this time.
It's nobody is denying First Nations people an opportunity to have their voices heard. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah. Every single First Nations person in Alberta gets a vote.
Yeah.
Right. We welcome their participation. The thing is, we don't want to deny everybody else an opportunity to express their viewpoint too. And I find this quite bizarre because if you listen to First Nations activists, I'm not talking about First Nations people. I think there's a wide gulf in between what those are. The official activist First Nations types and regular First Nations people. I've listened to the Liberals say that the Canadian government has committed a genocide against the First Nations people. I think by every metric, First Nations people have been failed by the Canadian government. That by and large, they've been failed by their leadership, the same people who are putting out these statements. If you've had a genocide committed against you by Canada, I'm trying to understand why you would want to stay instead of just come with us. And if honoring the treaties is a thing, well, and that's the holdup, well, then we'll honor them. Somebody should, and it's not the Canadian government.
Yeah, I agree. And like I was saying earlier, I mean, there's so much corruption that is top down from a lot of the reserves, and I think they're concerned in some cases that they're going to lose out on that money.
Yeah. Speaking of money, is that the next thing on the list? Yes. Okay, this is the thing that I was going to do a video on this and just dig down, because Carney's meeting with Coastal First Nations on Tuesday. Now, Coastal First Nations doesn't mean a group of First Nations on the coast. Coastal First Nations is a fake front group using the human shields of First Nations on British Columbia's west coast, funded by foreign interests, primarily out of San Francisco. It's the big environmentalist charities. Remember when I said, oh, this MOU, they're going to make way for Tides? And Tides is Make Way now, by the way. They had to change their name. The Rockefeller Foundation, the Tar Sands campaign, it's going to be rebranded and redeployed. Guess what, friends?
This is it.
This is it.
Yep. So,
and you know, the authors of this article don't actually properly explain that when they say Carney's meeting with these people. They just say Coastal First Nations. Right. They're traveling to Prince Rupert for a meeting along with Natural Resources Minister Tim Hodgson, whose relationship with Coastal First Nations got off to a rocky start. If you drill down, they never quite explain this group. They describe themselves as rights and title holders of BC North and Central Coast and Haida Gwaii. We informed Premier Danielle Smith once again that there's no support from Coastal First Nations for a pipeline and oil tankers in our coastal waters. But Olivia, I put it in the chat there. Did you see that? About who and what these people are? Coastal Funds. This is so Coastal First Nations Initiative. This is Coast Funds. This is who they are. And this is where the money comes. So Great Bear Rainforest and Haida Gwaii. So if you look, just click View Funders on Great Bear Rainforest. Just see where it says View Funders, click it. No, go down. Olivia, go down. See View Funders under Great Bear Rainforest. Click that for a second.
Oh.
The David and Lucille Packard Foundation, Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation. These are all Americans. Nature Conservancy, Rockefeller's Fund. We know them as the guys. The Tar Found. The Hewlett, same thing. And Make Way, Tides Canada Foundation, now operating as Make Way. Plus, the government of Canada is aligning with these people and the province of British Columbia. And if you just go down on all their things, the Great Bear Sea, if you click on who funds that next one, it's wild. The Bezos Earth Fund, Blue Nature Alliance.
And this is who is influencing the Prime Minister of the country of Canada.
This is not only that, they and Make Way again
on major projects.
This
all
is
of the people can veto major projects in Canada, is what you're saying.
This is Coastal First Nations. This is Coastal First Nations. Right. It's not First Nations groups. It's American environmentalist charities meddling in our politics the same way the Chinese do, and they're using First Nations groups as a front because they are getting money too for this, to block oil and gas pipelines from Alberta and disenfranchise the First Nations organizations in Alberta who own an ownership stake in this. Like real, legitimate First Nations groups, not fake American-led environmentalist front groups. They are being denied economic opportunity because we're letting American money flood in. And nobody in the mainstream media is telling you this.
Wow.
I should have done a video on it now that I'm thinking about it.
Let's put it on the list. Let's put it on the list, because I'm sure Canadians would love to know that this is who their government is taking advice from.
They're meeting with them today like they're legitimate.
humongous American environmental NGOs that work against the best interest of Canadians. This is who we're prioritizing.
Yeah, complete interference. Complete
Wild.
interference.
Yeah, this is foreign interference.
Yeah.
This is Democrats in San Francisco influencing the economy of Alberta.
But it's not the Russians, so that's okay.
Right. It's not the Russians. It's not ICE agents.
It's always the Russians, I thought.
Yeah.
No, you put a family name in the word foundation and then it makes it sound friendly, but
Right.
it isn't. It's
Like
just
they're building daycares.
it's just a humongous web of these NGOs that are working together.
Yeah, and they're like,
as an operating arm of the Democratic Party.
right. And they use these indigenous bands on the West Coast as their human shields. They're like, oh no, it's Haida Gwaii. No, it's not. It's the Rockefeller Foundation.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should do a video on that.
think you
It just
should.
irritates
Yep,
me.
I think you should.
Because the mainstream media reporting
Harry-
has been absolutely terrible on this. They're just saying, oh, they're just meeting with First Nations bands who are opposed to it. No, this is a creation of the Rockefeller Foundation and Make Way, which was the Tides Foundation, but they had to change their name because everybody figured out their little scheme.
Wow.
Anyway, we've got one more thing before we need to hit a... No, we'll do Manitoba being terrible and Canada being terrible, and then we'll hit an ad break, because then we have to talk about the thing that we have to be very careful about how we talk about it. And we'll just maybe explain it as straight as we can, maybe offer some mild opinions, and then our viewers, you guys can make up your minds in the chats, I think, because it's slightly YouTube dangerous-y. It's a big old bear trap to put your leg in as a commentator on this stuff.
We're just going to tiptoe. We're just going to tiptoe around that story. Okay, we will give you the base details, but man, it is so.
I'm gonna like ballet shoes tiptoe. So, anyways, but this thing is crazy. Manitoba PC board member suspended over ICE social media post. Somebody got in trouble over at the National Post today about this too.
I saw that this morning.
What is happening?
Oh, maybe we can bring it up.
Yeah.
So, Obi Khan, who I actually quite like, suspended a regional director with the Manitoba Progressive Conservatives for posting a social media message that appeared supportive of ICE, the Immigration Enforcement Agency of the United States. Oh, Patrick Allard. Oh, we know Patrick. He's banned from running as a candidate in the next election. He was active during the COVID lockdowns. This
party does not stand for hate, does not stand for division like that. Division like what?
Right.
What part of what ICE is doing is actually divisive?
Enforcing immigration laws? Like
Yes.
Here's the thing that he said that was so offensive. And let us know in the chats if you guys think this is offensive. So do we have ICE in Manitoba? If so, are they hiring, asking for a friend?
380 likes. Look at that. He's got support. And yet the progressive conservatives in Manitoba are like, do not be racists.
It's
a valid
not,
question.
It's not racist. Like,
There's nothing racist about it.
Immigration enforcement.
It's a really, really important valid question right now, considering what's happening in Canada. And I think it shows the tone deafness of the Manitoba Progressive Conservatives that they would label this as racist or in any other way controversial. This is not a controversial position, and I think the guy that got kicked out just learned a really good lesson about the progressive part of conservatism.
Yes.
I just want to flip you something here, Olivia. This is a story from 7 months ago. And this is why it's not offensive to ask this question, particularly in Manitoba. Olivia, it's in the chat. It's a clip. Let's just play it. It's like a minute and a half. This is why you should care about immigration enforcement in Manitoba, and it's not offensive to ask about it.
Harsh Kumar Patel and Steve Shand were arrested after Border Patrol agents in Minnesota came across migrants walking across the border from Manitoba on a frigid day in January of 2022. Police on the Canadian side then found the bodies of a family of 4 from India who had frozen to death, lost in a blizzard as the wind chill dipped below -35. Court was told Patel was the organizer and Shand was a taxi driver who would pick people up on the American side. On that cold day, a Border Patrol agent caught Shand with some migrants and asked him if others were out there. The family was still missing, but Shand said no. The judge sentenced Patel to 10 years in prison and Shand to 6. The prosecution asked for longer prison terms, but said the sentences still send a strong message that anyone involved in human smuggling will face consequences.
With the lengthy sentences imposed today, we can send a strong message. A message that human life does not have a price tag. That human smugglers are callous and indifferent and have no regard for the safety of the people in their care. That illegally entering the United States carries grave risks, and that those who smuggle aliens into the United States will face harsh consequences.
10 years and 6 years for essentially murdering
Killing
a family of 4. The Crown prosecutor wanted originally 10 years for myself and Chris for a mischief. That's absolutely ridiculous. I can't even believe. Yeah, there should be no question. We have reached peak ridiculousness when people are offended when law enforcement is upholding the law. This doesn't even make any sense. And especially when a lot of these immigrants that are not Canadian citizens are not coming they're not coming here legally, and they're committing heinous crimes while they're here.
And another part of this story is that we have no context surrounding what the original post was about. He may have had an experience. He may have been.
He could have been talking about this.
Sure, he could have. And the response of the Progressive Conservative Party of Manitoba is absolutely disproportionate and insane woke. And they need to know that they made the wrong call. If you're a conservative in this country, you're conserving things. And by asking if Manitoba has ice, that sounds like you're conserving things. So
it kind of goes back to our streeters yesterday. I mean, the main topic was free speech, right? Freedom of speech. Do you believe that we have freedom of speech in Canada? And I was actually surprised at the amount of people that felt like it was perfect, that we can say whatever we want. We don't have to self-censor. But I mean, here's a prime example. There is nothing in that gentleman's post I feel is racist or rude or disrespectful.
Or controversial at all. Yeah. There's nothing controversial about what he said.
No.
Yeah, if Manitoba had appropriate border enforcement, a family of 4 wouldn't be dead.
Right.
Like that's the whole point, is that illegal immigration isn't victimless. Often the illegal migrants themselves are victims of a system that permits it, of smugglers, coyotes, as they call them on the southern border. But a family of 4 is dead because Manitoba didn't have appropriate border enforcement. Instead of the Conservatives pointing out, yeah, people died at our border. And that's not the first time, by the way, because they before, under Justin Trudeau, they were coming up from Minnesota. Human smugglers would take a cab. They would bring them in a cab there and let them walk across. And frequently, the smuggled people will have frostbite because they're coming ill-prepared for the conditions they're about to go into. And the human smugglers don't care as long as they get paid. And it happens a lot at the Manitoba border. And if Manitoba had appropriate border enforcement, they would be doing something. If they cared about the migrants the way Wab Kinew says he does, he would be tightening up the border so people were being killed or suffering grievous injury at the border. And the Conservatives, what an unforced error. They could have actually pointed out to you what I did and said, actually, we've got a real problem down there. And in Alberta, they're doing something about it. Why aren't our NDP doing something about it too?
They missed an opportunity to take they missed an opportunity there to take a real swift land and face punch to whatever the Manitoba NDP are doing in this regard. Because Wab Kinew is the guy that's defending what happened in Minnesota, like defending it.
And didn't Wab Kinew just come out yesterday and tweet that he thought America was turning into a third world country or something like that?
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to Renee Good and everything. You know, this is just crazy. And so, what an absolute fumble by Manitoba PCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put a thing in the chat there, Olivia. And of course, leave it to CBC to call illegal migrants refugees. But these are people, and again, you can just, if you just put into your Google search engine, frostbite migrants Manitoba, and you are going to get dozens of hits back. But this is the one that came to my mind because they actually... anyways, refugees who lost fingers to frostbite in near fatal 2016 bid to cross border become Canadian citizens. This is so perfectly CBC. These people illegally entered into the country. They likely elicited the services of human smugglers to do it. And yet, in 2023, despite their illegal entry into the country, they were given Canadian citizenship.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a
they're
lot
from
to say
Ghana.
about stuff like that. We could be here for 2 hours if I got into that.
Yeah. Yeah. They're from Ghana, and they crossed at Emerson, Manitoba, which is like, if the weather weren't so terrible there, it would be a good Rebel News mission to just go to Emerson, because that's the Manitoba Roxham Road. And anyways, the stories are endless, and the Conservatives in Manitoba just put zero daylight in between them and Wab Kinew, who said this crazy thing yesterday. Maybe we can bring it up. Olivia. Manitoba. I don't know if Manitoba does, but Wab Kinew sure does, and apparently Obi Khan, given what he did to Patrick Allard. Manitoba stands with Minnesota. Premier Wab Kinew says after a woman fatally shot by ICE agent in Minneapolis. An ICE agent shot someone who was either intentionally trying to run him over or accidentally running him over, but the outcome is the same for the ICE agent, because whether it's an accident or on purpose, you're not supposed to just let yourself die. You're allowed to preserve your own life, whether it's accidental or intentional, right? So that's why I reject when people are like, well, it was an accident, she wasn't trying to hit him. Even if I concede that, and I don't, but even if I do, so he should just let himself get run over? He shouldn't take life-saving measures for himself?
I think it's terrible. It's terrible that anyone had to die. However, if you watch the video, they were very clearly letting her know that she was being placed under arrest and to exit the vehicle, that she was detained. And she didn't listen, and it's horrible, but he's doing what he was trained to do.
Yeah, your job is to protect the public and preserve your own life, because you don't get to protect the public another day if you're dead at the hands of a criminal. And what this lady was doing was criminal. And you're not supposed to assume that they're bad drivers. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I would argue what both of those women did was not lawful. Drive, baby, drive is what the wife told the driver. Like, she encouraged her to drive away. To drive over the ICE agent. I don't know what we expect those guys to do in that case.
Yeah, we've got Wab Kinew, he said, yes, it's turning into a third world country. I've been to Winnipeg. So
Wab, we've all seen downtown Winnipeg. It is a frightening third world country.
I've lived in Manitoba a few times, and I can concur.
I've been to Winnipeg. Nice people. Too bad they have to live there. But he also urged Manitobans to check in with their American friends and family. For what?
Right.
Well,
for what?
Wellness check. Sheila Gunn Reid, wellness check. This is
what are they going to tell you
has come to
about their jobs, their low inflation rate? That they're taking their country back from illegal migrants. Like, I don't. What, you're going to check in with your American friends and then have them brag to you how great things are? I don't need that. I already feel bad enough about living here.
Like I said, it's really unfortunate that anyone lost their life over this, but this is what happens when your law enforcement and your government, the left-leaners are emboldened. There's been zero consequences for any of their own illegal activity. And let me tell you, especially in Canada, from my perspective, and some of the cases that I've seen dropped, thrown out, acquitted, discharges, it's frustrating, but they are emboldening these people and they don't feel like there's going to be consequences.
Yeah.
No, for sure. What a great segue into this crime story out of Abbotsford. Maybe we can bring up too, the CCFR has a good clip about the real estate agent in, I believe it was Calgary, who killed an attacker today with a knife. There's a clip. It's on the CCFR's Facebook page.
I saw that.
We're going to, yeah. And since she's in Alberta, it'll be less likely that she'll face criminal charges for self-defense. This is the story, though, from CTV News out of Vancouver. The world we live in, there's evil. 3 men accused of killing Abbotsford seniors, motivated by greed, prosecutors say. Prosecutors in a double murder trial for 3 men accused of brutally killing an elderly Abbotsfard couple in their home say their motivation was greed. The Supreme Court trial opened in Abbotsford for Gurkhan Singh, Abhijit Singh, and Kushavir Singh Toor are all charged with first-degree murder. They were motivated by debt, financial pressure, and greed. On May 9th, 2022, why is it taking 3.5 years to get to trial? Arnold De Jong, 77. Joanne De Jong, 76. Oh my goodness. Were found dead in their home. Their hands and feet had been tied up with rope. De Jong's entire head and face was tightly wrapped in duct.
To jail.
Forever. Under the jail.
Forever.
She died of blunt force trauma, so she was beaten to death, and her husband died from asphyxiation. Evil.
Welcome to Canada.
Evil.
The one man's cleaning company had done work for the victim's home twice.
He scoped it out. So he scoped out their house using his business.
Yeah.
And then went back at a later date to rob them, and instead murdered a couple in their late 70s.
The Crown
Absolute garbage.
This is crazy. The Crown told the court, okay, do we need ICE? This is why. The Crown told the court that Gurkhan Singh was in Canada on a student visa, arriving less than a month before the killings.
Wow.
He was supposed to be at college in Dawson Creek, but it's alleged he never got there. That's why we need ICE, guys, right there.
But yeah, well, we need a justice system first that is going to put away these guys for the rest of their live-long days. But I would prefer that that's not in a Canadian prison. I'd prefer not to pay for that forever. But if listen, let me ask you this question. Would you send them back if you knew that they would let them out of an Indian jail just to change their name and come right back into Canada?
Or
would you rather pay for them in Canada and ensure that they could never do this to another family?
Right.
I'm anti-gulag. Normally. But this feels like one of those situations where I might be pro-gulag in some terrible place.
Look at them grandparents with their grandbabies.
From all their families' accounts, they were good, God-fearing people who'd been married to each other their entire lives. Just the best kind of people. And they probably were very trusting. In fact, they hired this guy twice. So,
right. Wow. That's terrible.
And then if you bring that sort of thing up in Manitoba, you're persona non grata.
Yep.
Anyway, do we have that clip of the lady in Calgary? There's a news report in Calgary. Okay, this is it. Let's watch.
She eventually stabbed him, acting in self-defense.
CTV News has learned a woman who was showing a rental was attacked by a man who came to view it. She fought him off, and the man died from his injuries. Tyler Barrow joins us from Edgemont tonight. So, Tyler, what have you learned about what happened there?
Tara, on Friday, an altercation ended with a man in his 40s dead. CTV News has learned the woman in her 30s who was taken to hospital in stable condition was acting in self-defense. On Friday, the woman was showing the man the basement suite of a rental home on Edgemont Court Northwest. Important to note, this was the second time she was showing the man in his 40s the unit. While viewing the unit, he attacked her in the basement. He would make aggressive sexual advances towards her, which put her life in danger. She eventually stabbed him, acting in self-defense, leading to his death. She had to be taken to hospital in stable condition. Tara, she has since been released. Police say no one has been charged. They are expecting to release more details following tomorrow's autopsy.
Isn't that's crazy? Like, he hunted her.
That's terrifying.
100%. 100%, like with intent, sexually assaulted her. This is what he lured her into an area that he knew that he would have her alone in order to sexually assault her. And to be completely honest, I ain't mad about what happened. So long, sucker. Way to go, lady.
Well, like you said, Sheila, hopefully she won't face any charges. I know that victims tend to be charged in cases like that in this country, but I think she's got a chance out there.
Yeah, I think because this happened in Alberta, the chances of her facing any charges are very, very low. I'm actually quite astounded at this lady, because killing somebody with a knife in self-defense when you're a smaller person is really, really difficult. Like, this amounts to engaging in hand-to-hand combat with this guy. It wasn't a firearm.
Well, and that's exactly right. And she must have felt justified in doing it, or this would not have happened. This would not have happened. But when you're fighting for your life, you will use the nearest available tool, and that's what she had. And it's really sad to say, but this happens every day in Canada. Attacks like this happen every day in Canada. And well, one less scumbag off the streets, ladies.
Yeah. And you know, the sad part is that if this were a woman in Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia, she would likely at least face charges. They would put her through the ringer and then drop the charges at the end, because there would be no likelihood of conviction. Like, who would convict her of this? But the process, as Tamara Lich knows, is indeed the punishment.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's hit an ad break and then come back on the other side. We'll lead with Lisa's story, and then we'll go into the thing we need to precariously just sort of prance around the outside like woodland fairies. Hey everyone, Sheila Gunn Reid here, and I'm thrilled to introduce the 2 books that I just wrote, and I use that word pretty loosely. Meet The Case for Confederation, Alberta's Compelling Reasons to Stick Around, and The Case for Confederation, Saskatchewan's Compelling Reasons to Stick Around. 2 beautifully bound volumes packed with every strong promise and well-researched argument for why Alberta and Saskatchewan should stay within the confines of Canada. And by packed, I mean the pages are blank. These 2 books are completely empty, because when I went looking for Ottawa's case to keep the prairies, or rather for us to stay, that's exactly what I found. Nothing. Flip through either book and you'll reach the same conclusion I did. If the federal government has a convincing argument, it didn't make it into the pages of my book, or into reality for that matter. These books will make the perfect gift for your favorite prairie firebrand, your CBC-soaked Liberal co-worker, or anyone who still insists equalization is fair. Or how about for that guy who yells elbows up every time pipelines or canola or potash comes up. And look, even if Ottawa won't offer Alberta or Saskatchewan much, these blank books can, because they're lined. They double as notebooks, instantly making them more useful than any federal promise since 1905. Get your copies today at thecaseforconfederation.com. Order now to get yours in time for Christmas. Again, that's thecaseforconfederation.com.
Canadians know the national anthem. They stand in silence to remember those who died for this country. But not every Canadian knows their rights and freedoms. The Freedom Passport will change that. It looks and feels like a Canadian passport, but contains the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms in a portable, easy-to-read format. The Freedom Passport. Order one for yourself and for all the freedom lovers that you love at freedompassport.ca.
Okay, before we get to the difficult thing, and it's not difficult because I don't have opinions. It's difficult because I got to keep most of them to myself because of YouTube and the manipulation of the other side. But first, Lise and I got our hands on some access to information records about the thing that everybody says isn't happening in Saskatchewan. And I still think we should undergo an appeal of the redacted numbers, because the redacted numbers don't actually identify anybody. The redacted numbers simply indicate a taxpayer-funded, I don't want to say service, procedure, done.
It's an available procedure. Yeah.
Right. And if I can get the knee surgery numbers unredacted, I should be able to get this unredacted. Lise, tell us about this.
Well, it turns out that in Saskatchewan, a profound number of people are accessing and getting what's called gender affirming surgeries in the province. The numbers were actually shocking, because these are numbers that the left says just absolutely aren't happening. And in the last 5 years, what it shows was 99 children under 19 got mutilating double mastectomies on their healthy breast tissue. It showed many procedures for people getting hysterectomies. These are for women that think they're men. Breast augmentations, okay? These are for trans women that are getting breast implants and nipple reconstruction. These skyrocketed from 23 to 63. Total excision of the male genital tract. So this is in advance of bottom surgery. This is available in Saskatchewan. And if you think about our women's healthcare, where women can't get breast health diagnostics, they can't get treatment, they have to jump through loopholes for hormone replacement therapy. And I actually want to address something that I saw in the YouTube comments on that video, accusing me of gender bias, because you said, what female healthcare is, you concentrated on female healthcare that's getting displaced. Well, what about all nobody is accessing those surgeries? It is almost all of the female healthcare spaces that are being taken up. And just for the record, I can personally share with the person that commented that men's healthcare in Saskatchewan is absolutely not lacking. It is almost instantaneous. It is responsive. It is accountable and excellent healthcare. And what I am saying and what I am hearing from women in Saskatchewan is that they are unable to get care. So this story is a story about we are mutilating children in this province. And do we want to be known for this? And number B, all of those surgeries displaced other people on wait lists in this province.
Yeah.
And are we okay with this? Now we know the numbers, okay, because we got them straight from the government. So the government cannot pretend not to know at this point. But what we need is intervention. Because just like we warned last summer, Sheila, Gunn, Reid, we said this when Danielle Smith announced in Alberta that trans healthcare for young people was no longer going to be an option for youngsters in Alberta. We said on this program, they're all coming to Saskatchewan. And these numbers flesh this out, because these numbers also contain out of province visitors to the province. So all you need is a referral from another jurisdiction to see Saskatchewan healthcare providers and get put on these pathways. And you know what, guys, like this is such an outrage. Nearly 100 girls were mutilated, and we are okay.
Yeah. With several dozen boys. Like, it's crazy. And you are
one every 2 weeks. My husband did the math. 1 every 2 weeks, a child is getting trotted into a Saskatchewan hospital to be mutilated by ghouls.
Wow.
This is what's happening here.
Yep. And these are exclusive records to us. If you see follow-up reporting, it builds on our reporting. But moreover, to Lisa's point, women of a certain vintage, it is a lot easier for a boy who thinks he's a girl to walk into the doctor's office and leave with hormone therapy than it is for you.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Because it's considered, a potential life-saving measure.
Right.
This is what they consider these things. They're potential life-saving measures. Because the argument of the left is always, if trans people can access the healthcare they want, they might try and commit suicide. We're going to talk about this in a bit. However, what it does is it puts such a strain on resources, whether it be pharmaceutical resources, whether it be hospital resources, whether it be doctors and pathways. Do you know that we have an entire trans navigator, trans Sask healthcare navigator in Saskatchewan? So if you're gender diverse, we'll say, if you're gender diverse, you can just send an email to Saskatchewan. You'll be assigned a person. They're going to help you through the entire thing. You know who doesn't have access to that kind of healthcare navigation? Everybody bloody else in the province. What in the fresh hell are we doing? We have our priorities all upside down in Saskatchewan, and I really look forward to hearing from the government of Saskatchewan about what they are going to do about this. This is unconscionable.
We have women being dismissed by their doctors as just the what you're dealing with is just something you have to go through.
Oh, you must have a hysterical uterus. Go deal with it on your own.
Right.
This
But
is
if
what
you're a
women are
boy,
told.
Yeah, like you're sweating through your sheets and struggling with anxiety, gaining weight out of nowhere, and they're just like, this is just something you have to put up with. And you're like, well, maybe you could just give me some progesterone. And it's an ordeal.
Yes. Well,
But
we
it's not for teenage boys.
Right.
We have women in Saskatchewan that have undergone really radical cancer surgeries to treat their breast cancer, to get rid of their breast cancer, who can't get access to care. We have detransitioners who, even as they were getting wheeled into surgery for their double elective bilateral mastectomies, thinking to themselves, I shouldn't be doing this. Why am I doing this? Getting wheeled in there, immediately regretting it, and having nobody to listen to them or any of their complications.
Yeah.
It is an absolute scandal. So anyway, yes, Saskatchewan gender numbers out, all of them bad, and I look forward to putting an end to this in Saskatchewan.
All right. I feel like the danger alarms are going off, but we're going to talk about this anyway. There is a transgender activist in Alberta, Anna Murphy, who last week, a full, I think, month later, after a terse exchange with Corey Morgan from the Western Standard, posted their own obituary to Instagram and then went dark. And so the internet went crazy, blamed Corey for some reason, as though there were a direct correlation between a terse internet exchange and this person's mental health crises.
The internet reacted predictably.
Died by
Trans violence?
Let's read
Oh,
that.
no, seriously.
Died by suicide from trans
violence. That's
I guess
exactly
if you committed on yourself.
And this was the claim of the left, who accused anybody on the conservative or reality-based common sense side
Who
that they were responsible for this terrible loss.
Yeah.
The internet absolutely, like the effusive eulogies that started rolling off the internet. Oh, this person was the most brave, the most. Okay, and this is not a person that is unaccustomed to stats. Did you know transgender Canadians are 3 times more likely to attempt suicide? Says Anna Murphy in 2022, who just
we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened.
Well, that's true.
We know
yes,
they didn't
thank
die.
You.
We didn't know.
Yes.
We don't know what happened, but we know they didn't die.
Right.
So, anyways, the internet, including Rachel Gilmore, but also strange eulogizing from conservatives too.
No, I'm real upset about it, actually, because it says a lot. It says a lot. There were a lot of conservatives that wanted to be first to eulogize this very, very important life. And we're not minimizing this. We should be treating mental health issues with a great deal of concern. But conservatives, if you are onside this, okay, it is unforgivable to your base. You know what I mean? If you're going along with this, what exactly are you conserving.
Yeah. So then, as it turns out, Anna Murphy, who published their own obituary,
Posted it on Instagram. Let all the comments roll in. Got to read all of the comments on his own obituary. And this is what and then it turns out that no, Anna Murphy is alive and well and in the hospital on what sounds like a mental health hold. Okay, right. What I would like to point out just real quick to every single person that eulogized this person after they thought that a suicide attempt had been successful was maybe the reason this person is so mentally ill is because none of you bastards ever cared enough to tell this person the truth. And that is the long and short of it. This person is so well connected. Okay, This person has access to the Prime Minister. And actually, on the Rebel Roundup that we did just before Christmas with Stockwell Day, I actually said about this person, I'm so happy we have photographic evidence of this person with the Prime Minister of Canada, because I said it's real important to me to know who the Prime Minister of Canada is being influenced by. And it turns out that the Prime Minister of Canada is being influenced by a drastically mentally unwell person.
Wow. Right. And the thing is, like, yes, this person is clearly unwell, clearly vulnerable, but the blaming against Conservatives, anybody who had ever had a political disagreement with this person, was all of a sudden somehow responsible for a death that didn't even happen. And did the apologies roll in?
Absolutely not.
Nothing. Not like I guess they didn't die, and I'm sorry that Corey Morgan was dubbed a murderer. None of that happened. We're just like, I guess we just move on from this. And it's like, excuse me.
This post went live yesterday. So this is from Anna Murphy posting his own obituary, and then going dark on the internet so he could read all of the effusive comments. Okay, friends, I'm reading your messages, seeing your care and support and feeling your love. I cannot adequately express how much it means to me, nor fully convey how deeply healing it has been for my heart, my mind, or my spirit. I am profoundly grateful for the compassion that has been extended to me for so many quarters of my life and community. Please forgive any slow replies, any quiet on my part is not neglect, but the reality of working through the lingering effects of a serious mental health crisis where even simple communication can require significant effort. And yet here you are, Anna, on the internet.
Right. Exactly.
Making the significant effort.
Let's take it down just a little, because we got to be so careful with this story. I know, Lise. I know.
Mental health struggles can be profoundly heavy, and they are not meant to be carried alone. So everybody, depression has a way of distorting the truth, dimming light. It's not. So on and 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 on this person goes. Okay. Without ever having this self-awareness to be like, maybe my decisions are causing this profound struggle.
I don't even have all kinds of ire for this person. I think this person it's very clear, deeply unwell, very unwell, which is why I'm not sure we should be taking life advice from this person.
Right.
Making policy decisions based on what this person
problem
says?
Is everybody else who jumped on the bandwagon to point the finger at anybody else.
This was posted from the hospital. P.S. You guys, these are hospital photos. They're posting from the hospital.
Okay. My problem is not the people who are deeply unwell are going to be deeply unwell. My problem is everybody else who jumped on the blame, started pointing fingers immediately at other people before they knew the facts. And a lot of them claim to be journalists before they knew the facts, before they knew anything what was going on. This was all the Conservatives' fault all of a sudden, when it's clear there's a hell of a lot more at play there.
And I remember a time in this country, and even in the States, and this became very apparent to me after the Minnesota shooting of Renee Good. Immediately, there was politicians and social media influencers on the internet basically calling for some form of retaliation or accusing this ICE member of murder. But there was a time when especially leaders, politicians, people in positions of influence would not even comment on something until an investigation had at least been started. But it's judge, trial, jury, guilty in the span of a day or a few minutes in some cases. Because
no, really, it shows you how embarrassing their knee-jerk virtue signal reaction is, and
exactly.
how quickly, like before
we're going to get along so well, Lise. Lise, Merle.
Before there was a death confirmed, conservatives were absolutely falling over each other to be the first person to say something amazing about this Anna Murphy from Alberta. And I've said 100 times, I've said, if I had even a fraction of the support that trans women get in this world, I would be unstoppable. And this is evidence of this happening. This is evidence of this happening.
And not a single apology to Corey, I'm sure, as you said.
Not a single one. And that's my problem with all of this, is that everybody leapt over themselves to make sure that they weren't being treated like Corey. Instead of saying, hey, you guys, all of you owe Corey an apology. They were all like, well, it wasn't me. I wasn't him.
Right.
You know, it's just so like, they're the kind of conservatives that would yank a woman off a life raft to save themselves if the ship were sinking.
1,000,000,000%. And what the craziest thing here is that women, and especially mothers, aren't doing real well right now. Like the Surgeon General of the United States has said that the years of mothering puts you at a particular risk of mental illness, and mothers in Canada are actually unaliving themselves at a rate that should alarm all of us. And then this guy pretends to, and has the world to fall over him to accommodate him. And I'm just so tired of it. I'm sorry. I'll be done.
Maybe we'll do some chats and then the cringe. You could use a laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I sure could.
All right. We've got NCIM2. Donald here.
Colin.
Did you hear a family-owned restaurant harassed for hosting a Polyev event? Left made death threats to this woman, Ronnie's Bistro.
I did hear about that. Maybe
What
Ridge,
is
BC,
this?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tamara.
Well, I just read a bit of the post this morning, but essentially that was it. Pierre Polyev was hosting an event at a restaurant in Maple Ridge, and now they're working overtime, of course, to cancel him. They're Google bombing, or Google review bombing their website. Yes, it's brutal.
Oh, these people.
Yep.
They're so terrible. They don't care.
They're so tolerant and inclusive.
Yeah, and then sometimes I think the left isn't evil, they're just wrong.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we can talk to those people, but these kind of people are evil and wrong because they don't care about what their actions are doing to innocent people. Like, they don't care about the situation of this restaurant owner. Yeah. Maybe the restaurant owner is one big event away from bankruptcy. Yeah. And they don't care about that because all they care about is hating Polyev. Yeah. And so they don't care if this would be the thing that makes or breaks this woman's livelihood. They don't know what this means to her family or anything like that.
Yeah. So this is Ronnie's Bistro in Maple Ridge, British Columbia. Yeah. British Columbia viewers, if you're in the Maple Ridge area, we invite you to go and review this restaurant. Go to this restaurant, buy a beautiful meal for your friends and family, and leave it a good review online, because we know what they're up against right now. A hateful, gross mob. Yeah.
Chris and I call these the hashtag no space for hate types. Right. You know, it's so hypocritical. And, I think when you look at it, people like us, Lise, Sheila, myself, and a lot of the other rebels, we're used to being vilified, demonized, called names. I mean, we see it on social media every day. But when you have someone like this who's not used to this, I mean, my heart is breaking for this woman because I can't imagine how terrified she's feeling, how uncomfortable. Sure. I mean, this is atrocious behavior, and Canadians do not treat each other this way. We don't.
Yeah.
Well, this is how for sure.
Yeah, this is how the left operates.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll just terrorize you.
Yeah.
They don't care the impact that it has on you. They're happy to throw you to the depths of hell and then lock the door and walk away.
But you know, this almost goes full circle to what we started talking about, and that's democracy. And why would you vilify somebody for who they support? Honestly, I don't get it, because it is a democracy, and if you believe in it, then everyone should get a say. It shouldn't matter to you who supports who or which party. You know, we're in upside down clown town.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Casparius gives us $5. Good luck getting independence, Alberta. If you get it, stay independent as long as possible and don't be tempted by the U.S. We in the U.S. are only one presidential election away from becoming Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
You ain't wrong.
That's true.
No. Yeah. Okay, next one. Lise, your passion on the this is from Politicians Never Lie, says, Lise, your passion on the trans insanity is appreciated. She wrote a book on it.
Did so. Best-selling. Oh, Tamara Lich, I wanted to tell you your selfie with Scarlett this weekend.
Yeah.
Was it this week or yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I was so delighted to see Buck the Rainbow Unicorn on the table between you guys. It just absolutely made my life. I printed it and I put it on my fridge, that selfie. Like, it's on my fridge now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took it home with me, by the way. I owe you for a
Oh,
book.
good. Good, honey. Good.
Also, we will have more books if you're coming to the Conservative Convention and you want to pop by the table and have your book signed by the author. If you go to rebelnews.com/events, you'll get details of our event that we're hosting there, and we'll have books and lease and markers, and get your copy of Buck the Rainbow Unicorn. Ableist SL, I'm concerned that Australia is about to transition into a dictatorship that will blacklist legitimate political opposition, and there are concerns this will come to Canada. Also, Scott Adams is dead. R.I.P. Yes.
Oh, no.
Scott
He passed away.
Adams passed away this morning. He announced, I think, last week that he was converting to Christianity on his deathbed, and he was moving into hospice, I think, yesterday. Or today. Yeah, yesterday, and then today he passed. So
That's so sad.
given his conversion to Christianity, while it is sad that we have lost such a interesting thinker, he's home now, and so it's okay. Got a couple of cringes involving recidivist cringe artist, the Prime Minister. Polyev sort of drags him, but Mark Carney says, it was time to build this weekend with Lego. Thanks to Ambassador Harris for the gift. Solidarity with Denmark.
I'm happy to see this. I mean, maybe now that he's got a Lego set, he can actually build something. I mean, I don't know if you saw my post last week, but this is like Dr. Seuss. Like, he's building here and he's building there. He's building up and he's building down. He's building everywhere. Where is it?
Yeah. Could you imagine? This is what our Prime Minister did on like a diplomatic foreign affairs mission with Denmark while Greenland is being threatened to be annexed by the United States. This is why Trump wants Greenland, is because you can't keep it. Look at this. Like, this is what you did. And anyway, so Polyev replies back, it's not quite a pipeline or affordable homes, but congratulations on building something, anything.
That's fantastic.
So funny. What was the can I see the front, Olivia, could I see the front of that Lego kit again? Because on every Lego kit there's an age on the 8+. So yeah, it says 8+ years, but it looks like Mark Carney was able to build that Lego set in significantly less time than that. So well done, Mark Carney.
He probably had a taxpayer-funded assistant build his Lego set for him.
Oh, a whole team of interns.
A whole team of interns, yes.
Nicer
the
than
Mark
any
Carney, the master builder.
Nicer than any Canadian Navy ship right now.
Probably more effective too.
Sure.
Well, I like that they picked a nice boat design and not say like a maid hospital, a maid facility. You know what? A Lego maid facility.
The maid shed.
The maid shed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelsey
Actually,
Burns,
I'm
I
gonna
think.
ask my kids. I'm gonna ask my kids to make one out of their Lego and just be like,
maid shed?
make it really dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
make it really dark, kids. No windows.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous. And then I saw like in the Globe and Mail today, some boomer, 70-year-old boomer from Eastern Canada. Again, let me preface this by saying, if you voted for Polyev and you're a boomer, I'm not talking about you. So don't write me that email.
Yep.
Stop typing right now. I'm not talking about you. But if I saw that, I think it was the Globe and Mail, somebody had come get your Grampy, because there's a guy wrote a letter to the editor in there who was like, I'm ready to defend Greenland.
I saw that.
What? We can't defend Canada, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna go fight for Denmark? No, please. The Greenlanders are like, you know what? We're listening. Whatever Trump's making offers, we're at least open-minded to the issue. It's Denmark that have a problem with it, which feels very much Alberta versus rest of Canada vibes. I'm almost 70, but give me the means to get. Oh, we got to send there too to get to Greenland, and I'll be more than happy to defend it. How? Putting your elbows up and poking somebody in the eye with them? What are you doing?
Not only that, but in the meantime, his font is probably like 40, just so he can type that onto his phone. The keyboard warrior, like, what's he gonna do? Hurl foul language at him?
Right.
No, seriously, this makes me
he types that like this.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to crowdfund a ticket just to watch him try. Like that, I want to see you, sir. Yes, I agree. You should go defend Greenland right now. Let's get you on a flight. We'll get you on a flight, and
I feel like we should go
battling the Americans.
I feel like we should go on a work trip to Greenland and cover this very serious story.
Yes, immediately. Yes,
right now.
RSVP. Yes.
SaveGreenland.com. FreeGreenland.com.
Yeah, FreeGreenland.com.
Yes.
We're going to free. You know, I'm happy to talk to any separatist movement around the world, especially a democratic separatist movement.
Yeah.
I want to come talk to you. I want to talk about why you feel that way.
That would be a super fun. That would be a super fun rebel trip going to Greenland.
Like a documentary project.
Absolutely.
I just go talk to the Greenlandic people and find how we're similar. Yeah.
Okay.
I just got to talk to my probation officer and see.
For those of you out there watching, don't steal my idea. This is my idea. Do not steal it. I'm going to execute it before you get to. I'm gonna bring Grampy with me too.
We could crowdfund for his ticket.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I want to see. I want to see him try.
Super serious.
Give me the means to get there. Like, pay for me to go there and I'll take up arms against the Americans. We just saw what Pete Hegseth did with Maduro. Do you think our 70-year-old Canadians are going to stand a hope in hell against them?
Yeah, that's right. In 2 hours.
Right? Like, they black bagged Maduro and just left his empty slippers beside the bed as
You'll just see a
evidence that Maduro
helicopter
even existed.
Yeah, you'll just see a helicopter hovering over, dropping it, grabbing Grampy, and out the door again.
There'll just be like a cloud of smoke where Grampy was standing. Come on.
And a pair of dentures. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay, I think that's a show for today. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, Mrs. Leach, for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure, ladies.
Yes, super fun. Lise, I'll see you tomorrow. We're on a special mission tomorrow in Saskatoon.
Yeah, we are, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have fun.
And yes, I think that's it, Olivia, unless we have any more chats or anything. One just came in. We don't want to leave anybody out.
Sheila, are we on the live stream tomorrow or no?
I am. I think I can do the live stream and still make it to Saskatoon.
I can too. Yeah,
okay.
I can too.
Okay,
So
perfect.
we'll see you guys back here tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see everybody back here tomorrow.
One more chat coming.
Oh, this is from Donald again. We talked to the owner of Ronnie's Bistro and the left threatened to burn down her place of work. Yeah, no surprise there.
Wow.
No surprise.
She must be so stressed. Again, Ronnie's Bistro in Maple Ridge, BC.
Go
Canada,
show them
go support that little place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hate has no home here. Hate has no home here, they say. Coexist, as the bumper sticker of the left says, until you try to exist beside them. Okay, guys, that's the show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see everybody. Lise and I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Tamara's off on special rebel missions. And as we frequently say on the show here, if you find us offensive, maybe don't find us at all. Big news, Rebel News now has premium memberships on X, Locals, and right here on YouTube. For just $4.99 a month on YouTube, you'll get loyalty badges, custom emojis, and access to members-only chats during our live streams. At $8.99 a month, you'll also unlock Rebel News Plus shows and our documentaries. But here's the catch. YouTube could cancel that premium tier at any time. That's why the best way to support us is at rebelnewsplus.com. It's just $8 a month, cheaper if you go annual, and you'll get exclusive extras like an ad-free site, comments access, and even the chance to submit op-eds. Wherever you join us, thanks for keeping our independent journalism alive and strong.